so we can hear ourselves over it.
There's a hundred.
So what's happening with you?
Man, doing good, bro. Been traveling good to be back in the pocket, in the socket, doing what we do.
Brother Shed coming in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Shed the entertainer.
Yes, sir. Coming on in there. How you doing, bro?
Hey, hanging in there, man. About yourself.
Hey, dog, we doing good. I'm on planet Mars this week.
All right.
Close to home.
Hey.
Yeah. I
almost sound like a safe place to be.
Yeah, bro. Hey, I tell you what, I'm thinking about living up here. You know, we'll talk about that later. You know, I got a brand new space shuttle I'm driving.
I heard that.
You ain't gonna be driving it drunk, are you?
No, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We flying on sober. We good.
Good. Yeah.
Shit, what's been going on, my brother?
Oh man, just hanging in there, and you know, and I know the election was the other day, but man, look at here. When you look at the polls and all the stuff they had in there beforehand and how close everything were, and then when you get to 10:30, 11 o'clock and you go to looking at these numbers, you say, okay, how could it be that big of a mistake? That tells you that somebody either don't know what they're doing or somebody been doing a whole bunch of lying. Mm-hmm. Because I felt like I say, well, this thing will go pretty much the next day where they be counting, you know?
Uh-huh.
That's what surprised me, that they were able to name a leader a winner so early, because I mean, with all that talk about the mail-in ballots coming in and this and that, you did think it was going to take at least a day or so, you know?
Exactly. And so that says, okay, so either there's a lot of voters lying about who they voting for, or something ain't right at the polls. Mm-hmm. But hey, we got to prepare ourselves and move forward.
Oh yeah, life goes on, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely got to prepare ourselves. Like I was telling somebody, you got the White House, and then we got our house.
Oh yeah.
So that's that we got to stay focused on what we got to do, because sometimes when things like that happen, now other people got control. Like they're waiting on the government to do something for them. They ain't gonna do that for you. You just got to do it for yourself, and it's gonna be some interesting days ahead. That's all I'm gonna say. But we're gonna be okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna be okay.
Shed, have you checked out any of the Hawks stuff yet?
Yeah, I've been in and out with it, but I was watching a little bit last night, man, and I said, wow.
They look good last night.
Yeah, they look good. That young dude, man.
Yeah.
Zachary Ricochet.
Yeah, man. He ain't missing nothing.
I heard about him. I heard he had a good game last night. When they played New York.
Right.
Yeah, he scored season. I mean, his career high. His career has only been about 5 games.
Yeah.
His career high of 33. And people were saying that this guy was going to just be a role player and so forth, but he's 19 years old and scored 33. And New York was a playoff team,
Exactly.
Yeah.
He played very well last night. Mm. And
he went off in that first quarter. Half, he went off.
I mean,
I heard
almost everything he touched went into the basket.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I think we need a center, though. Capella has fallen off a lot since they went to the finals that year.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Brian, what's happening with you, man?
Brian, how you doing, brother? Hey, Brian and brother Broom.
Hey, Brian.
Much. How y'all doing?
Good.
Doing good, brother. Just talking about them Hawks and. Of course we're excited about our boys, our team, the Falcons. We'll get to later on. They stirring the pot in the city right now. They stirring the pot right now. It seems like they're getting better and better. So we'll see this week. This is one of these games that hopefully we will win. We should win, but when you go down to New Orleans, you can throw the records out.
Yeah.
Hey, Art, I want to tell you one thing.
Ahead,
I noticed that on the on the YouTube live feed, if you don't have a picture up, the square with your name does not show up. That's on YouTube,
Okay.
So I was just I know you was having you had problems with your camera a couple of weeks ago though.
Yeah, I probably still do. I got on my phone tonight, but it just turned. Okay. Yeah, I don't even think about that after I get off that call because I've been on a lot of Teams calls, but I don't need my camera.
Right.
And so I don't even think about it that night. We on the call, so but I'll hopefully I need to set a reminder to look at it.
Hey man, well they gotta see the great Nostradamus. I mean, not Archstradamus, man. You famous, brother.
Maybe I keep mystified for a minute or two.
Hey, that's what they did back in the day. Rasta, Mr. Rasta #1, Mr. Rasta #2, for parts unknown.
So when he break back on the scene, it's gonna be even more dynamic, huh? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Brian, how's the wife feeling about them Saints, man? She
feeling about the same as I am about the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I called her Sunday. I was like, hey, the Saints are playing at 1:00. She's like, who are we playing? I said Carolina. She's like, oh yeah, we can beat them. Let me go and find the game. Because she's out of Houston.
Okay.
I wasn't watching games. I called. I was like, oh, I thought you said the Saints were winning. The Saints behind.
No.
So I called the end of the game where the Saints lost. And so she I think the next day I told Art, I was like, I think I don't know if their coach is gonna make it. And then like about 2 hours later, she texted me, hallelujah, he's gone. I'm like, who?
Man, all the Saints fans hated that dude. I got a couple Saints fans at my job. They talk much trash after the first 2 games. They've been very humble here, to say the least, the last few weeks. But they hated him. But I think they should have fired him last year after the team went against his wishes against the Falcons when he told them to line up in the victory formation and just kneel on the ball, and they went against, led by Jameis. Went against what he wanted to do. That showed me that they had no respect for this guy.
Yeah. You gonna lost the team. Yeah,
he lost them last year. So this year, but I'm not crying for him. Any misery come to the Saints, I'd love it. So. not necessarily your wife, Brian. She's a fantastic woman, but any misery come to the Saints, I'm down for it.
Hey, Mays. Yo, when you look at those standings, it makes you smile, don't it?
Yeah, man. I'm let me find them and bring them up while you're talking. Yeah.
When you see what the Saints in Carolina, you like, okay.
Hey, Brian, how did Tua do last week?
Oh, he did well. The defense let him down, but he played well. I mean, like he played like he didn't really miss a beat. Like he just came in and picked up where he left off.
Okay. Well, hopefully he can stay healthy.
Yeah,
that's his thing. I mean, he can play, but he just stay healthy, man.
Buffalo didn't pull that game out to the last minute and something.
Yeah, because it was a running game. The running game was working well. It was just that last drive they drove down and wound up scoring. But yeah, the offense still okay. The defense,
yeah.
Against the Bills, it's the defense. It's the offense is not doing well, but the offense showed up.
Yeah. Defense went to sleep.
Yeah. Maybe the previous time it was a little bit of both, but I know in the last year the offense didn't do much. But I guess they need both units to play well at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah, but, man, they've lost 3 in a row.
Yeah, I didn't realize Dolphins were 2-6.
Yeah.
They've never taken off. What is that thing that we see? What did I show you, Brian? Somebody said, what was it? Somebody said My sister's got something going on with the Cowboys. Said what? Say the Dolphins can't swim and the Cowboys can't shoot or something. She said.
Hey, Dr. Friday has been kind of quiet this week. We haven't heard much from him.
Yeah, he they came down here. Let me tell you, man, those fans, when they were going back to Dallas, they were so down. But hey, good.
That's the way I feel too.
hey, look, come on up to Atlanta, feed the economy, spend your money, and go back.
One thing about Dolphins fans, I mean, not Dolphins fans, but Cowboy fans can be some of the most arrogant fans when they're winning.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
No doubt.
I got no sympathy for them either.
So that's out for what, a minimum of 4 games, right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting if I think they probably Cooper Rush is the backup, and he's slated to start. But to me, after 1 or 2 starts, if he's not taking the team anywhere, they might as well go ahead and take a look at
Trey.
Trey. Yeah.
I wonder what they're gonna do. I mean, they traded some draft choices for him.
It was
man.
a 4th rounder, I think. They traded.
Yeah.
But he's in the same year. He's in the last year of his rookie deal. So they're gonna have to make a decision on what to do with him.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's gonna pay any. I think Justin Fields will get more money than him.
Oh yeah. No
but
doubt.
It's going to be interesting that who he ends up with and whether he finally gets a chance to get his career going. Somebody gonna give him a chance.
Yeah, if he gets, it'd be nice if he could get a couple of starts in, or at least a start or two, in this season. So we'll see. Because I think if Dallas, what is Dallas, about 3-5 or something like that?
Well, that's
fine. If they lose a couple more games, there's really no point in even playing. I mean, you may as well at least put Lance out there and audition him, or who knows where it can go.
Hey man, look, I'm gonna go back to something I said. Yeah, y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm gonna go back to what I told y'all at the beginning of the year. Don't be surprised if some way Deion's son end up in Dallas. I know it sounds crazy. I'm gonna leave it right there.
That'll be interesting. Now, how do you think that'll come about, Mike?
They're gonna start losing a lot of games. They getting ready to fall apart. Trust me.
Yeah.
They
Cowboys are now 3-5. They have also lost 3 in a row.
Yeah, they falling apart, man. And it's gonna be interesting to see, how Jerry Jerry getting more crazy by the moment. So we'll see how this thing works out.
The thing is, if they get it naturally, then that's okay. If they got a bad team, I don't think they was destined to get him if it happens. But if they win 3 games and it's 3-4 teams in that thing, I could see that happening. But I don't think Jerry has any more pull than anybody else in the NFL when it comes to first-round picks. That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, well, I was at the beginning of the year, I was saying that because of the fact that it was just too much disarray. I mean, they had missing pieces. He didn't go out and address the running back issues, and certain people he didn't sign. I just saw the team not being as good as people thought they were. And I saw them falling apart. Now, with the injuries and stuff, I really see. We'll see. We'll see. I don't see them getting any better. I see them falling apart.
I think the Cowboys, they had a known weakness at running back, but I think that's the thing. But like I'm putting one of the things, the Cowboys in the last 3 years, they won more regular season games than anybody except the Chiefs. Okay, now they came in, they lost. They lost a lot of injuries on defense. Okay, now I guess you could make a case that maybe a wide receiver. So, but they still were, but they've been winning. They've been winning. The quarterback just keeps falling apart in the playoffs. Amongst other things, everything happened last year. But the 2 previous seasons, Dak just not showing up in the playoffs. The guy that like last year,
and this year
running up MVP, and then he get in the playoff, it just stinks.
Yeah. And this year they don't have an identity on defense. I mean, Dan Quinn is going on doing this thing, and it's like their whole identity on defense is gone. Plus, Michael Person has been hurt.
And they lost Lawrence too. They lost their best.
So
but people that not sympathetic no more. They cornerback was out for a minute. Pearson was out, and they lost Lawrence, one of their best defensive linemen. But to be honest, they weren't playing the all-star ball before that. You know.
And they lost their defensive coordinator. I mean, let's face it, Dan Quinn, I got to give him credit. He had their defense on point. You know, it's like they're lost now, you know.
Except when they fell apart in the playoffs. Defense fell apart also. Didn't Dion make a statement about where his sons would go or where he would direct them, or what was that statement? What was the statement he made? Can y'all
he was talking to, I know when he talked to Shannon Sharp and Ocho, he was implying that that Miami will be a good fit for Shedeur.
Yeah, I heard that. And I think he said something about Carolina. No.
Now, see, Dion's good at certain things. I don't think he's as far as the NFL now. You know, you got all the owners are billionaires. All of them, you know, winging big sticks, and it's just so much in place. I mean, one thing you have as a quarterback, if you got an option to hold out a year, you know, but if your eligibility is gone, I like to see, you know, somebody, you know what I'm saying? If you're a junior, you got one more year, and you say, well, if New Orleans is going to pick me, I'm gonna stay and play. That's one thing, but I mean, he's gonna play somewhere, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, he's one of the top two quarterbacks. I mean,
Dallas will CJ Moore. Yeah, but if he's really desirable, anybody, other teams gonna want to. They're gonna fight for him too. And he should be desirable. I would think he'd be in the top two quarterbacks, top three at worst.
Yeah, he's top two.
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah,
I'm telling you, they can say things in these interviews. Trust me, it's just like you going on a job. You might interview somebody. And certain things you might say in an interview that let the person know you don't want to be there. Anyway, I mean, think about it. What owner wants you on this team and you don't want to be there? And you don't have a conversation.
Dallas has Prescott tied up for about $50 million a year for the next 3 years or so.
They got it.
So it'll be. I mean, I don't see it. Let's see. But what are they gonna do with him?
Actually, you would think they may not want you, but no, the way the NFL is, no, if you have to report if they draft you, so you may say you don't want to go there, but they'll be like, fine, we'll still draft you.
And I'll change that. Yeah, Dallas, even if they have Prescott, they get Sanders, they wouldn't have to pay him a lot of money. So I guess if he were available, and they want him over Cam Ward or something like that, then or I don't know, it's another hot shot quarterback in the running. I guess the money wouldn't be a concern because they'll have him for dirt cheap for a couple of years.
Yep.
But Dion all about that marketing, him and his son. So that Cowboy thing will be Miami, Dallas. I can see those places. But anyway, we'll see how it plays out. That's just conversation to go. Just something to think about to stir the pot.
My thing is with Cowboys, if I was Dion, I want him on the coach that's known to develop quarterbacks, Reed's not an option. Somebody like the guy from LA or the guys from the Vikings and all those guys can develop quarterbacks. You got about 4 or 5 guys, what I mean? I don't know who Dallas coach is going to be next year.
That's one of the main things.
That's going to be interesting.
It's definitely not going. Hey, look, they will have a change of head coach. Trust me on that.
So you got certain guys that they turn, like the Rams coach didn't do well. I mean, I know they shipped the guy off to the Lions, but some of those guys can just develop. Like the Vikings coach, he's good with quarterbacks. Green Bay's coach. Now these, Vikings about to be a good fit for him or something. But at least as far as teams that can develop quarterbacks, known to, But the Cowboys, that'd be a circus there. But that'd be, it would be good. That's right up Dallas alley, though, I guess. So if you look at it that way, that's a good point.
I was gonna show some of Bryce Young. Where there he is while I was talking. I was thinking that maybe YouTube had blocked it. I'll just let that play while we talk. This is him last game. If it's I don't know what's happening here. But they say he had a pretty decent game last week. So
that was one that I meant to check on that. I hadn't seen any replays, but yeah, that was his first win, right, in a long time, wasn't it?
Yeah. I do wish him well, but I mean I don't wish Carolina well, but because they're in our division. But he seems like a good kid, man, and he really looked good coming out of college. But he went to a terrible situation, as we all know.
Yeah.
Terrible owner, terrible team. So
no offensive line. I mean, yeah.
So if the Falcons win next week, I'm sorry. What they play the Saints in a couple of days, and they should be able to beat the Saints. I mean, I don't know about the Saints being fired up, but I know the Saints have gotten rid of a couple of players. The Saints have gotten rid of a couple of players, right? The cornerback and somebody else, right? About 2 players. So the best cornerback and stuff. And I think their wide receiver hurt too, right, Ryan? Olave.
Olave.
Yeah, he's hurt.
So we got no business losing those guys with all this stuff going down.
And their feelings are hurt.
But for some reason, when they play us, they always show up.
It's a knockdown, drag-out battle.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the same way with us when we were down. When we play them, it's always a battle, man.
Right.
But they have. I heard the defensive end. What's the guy that they had for years? Is it Jordan or what's his name, Brian?
Oh, I know you're talking about the defensive end for New Orleans.
Oh, Cam Jordan.
Jordan,
I heard he doesn't have any sacks this year.
0?
I think that's what I heard. I didn't look it up. Either 0 or 1. So he's not playing. He's always near Pro Bowl level or Pro Bowl, right?
Right.
So with him. Now that being said, I know Kamari had a great game last week, and they do. But we got to be able to beat these guys because we're just about separate. We're just about have this division just about wrapped up. Not wrapped up, but we'll have such a big lead.
And we've been winning all our division games. So you're right.
If they win Sunday, they would have swept the division.
Yeah, you can't. And we played Carolina twice already.
You're right. We haven't played.
I think we got one more. We got one more Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we should have a huge lead on that end of it. And the way the NFL goes, you don't have to. As long as you win a division, you're going to host a game, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that is true.
Not only we make the playoffs, we're going to host the game.
Right.
And
Mays, you don't have the upcoming schedule in front of you, do you?
Yeah, I'll put it up. You want the Falcon schedule?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll pull it up.
Because we got New Orleans this week, and it's funny because certain games at the beginning of the year, it's like that's an easy one, but now it's shaping up like that Minnesota game. That's gonna be a big game. That ain't gonna be no. Denver is gonna be a pretty. We'll see. You'll see the schedule what we got left.
I mean, I have to go back and look at the standings. Denver. I wonder how many have they won.
The Nuggets. Well, about 3 to 4. Maybe.
Let's see where we're at.
Is it 3 or 4?
But now the Nuggets, they played a relatively easy schedule prior to last week. I think I had heard one time the teams they had beat. This is prior to last week, and they lost that one. The teams they had a combined record of 12 and 28 or 29 or something. So
this is the old schedule. This is the wrong schedule here. Let me find. But Mike, looked like you closer to getting where you were, man. What did you predicted 12 wins, didn't you?
Yes. Let me let Sandra Murphy in.
11. Okay, I did 11, and I said I wobbled back between.
I said 10, man.
I said 11. Okay, I think I said 11, but
no. At first you said 10, then you came back and changed it. You may have changed it.
I think I went back a few times, but either way. But there are. They should. I think they'll get there.
I think Renee got them written down somewhere. I see Brother Murphy and who else came in there? Hey,
good
my
evening.
friend.
Hey, good evening.
Gentlemen. Hey, man, but what I like, while May's looking for that, I like the fact, I don't know if you guys have noticed, the team is taking on the attitude of the coach. And the one thing that I like, what happened when Raheem, he explained how he got this job. And one of the things that he sold off the blank zone is that I know the culture of the city and I know what kind of team we have to build for the city to get excited about a team. And I thought that was just brilliant. And he basically said, your team is already set. I just need a quarterback, you know. But we're going to call plays. We're going to build a defense. We're going to build an offense that the culture of your team will get excited about, you know. And he's doing that, man. I mean, I like his enthusiasm, his attitude, what he brings, his mental toughness. And he talks about that growth mindset, man. And I'm seeing him grow every week.
All right, here we go, man. We got Saints, of course, this coming Sunday. Broncos after that, bye week. Chargers. What are the Chargers doing? I have to look and see what they're doing. And the Vikings are looking pretty good this year.
Yeah.
Raiders not doing anything. Giants not doing anything. And they're the mighty Commanders.
Woo! Yeah.
And Carolina Panthers. So, well, that Washington game, that's
a big one.
That's a good game.
That might be for the second spot in the NFC.
Minnesota should be a good game. Chargers would probably be a decent game. They haven't done as well as I think they were planning to do, but I think it's coming around there. I hope we stomp the Broncos, man. Just because of Sean Payton.
Well, we should be able to. Seems like the Vikings. The Vikings started out strong, and they're still looking decent, but they're not looking like, we should be able to rack some points. We should be able to hold on. I mean, we probably going to win at the same clip we are, if not better. I think it's actually a pretty decent schedule. I think it's 3 teams in there we should beat easily, and then I think it's 2 or 3 teams. Seems like the Chargers may be the Vikings may be a toss-up. But I think for where we coming and how we growing, we should be able to beat both of those teams, though. But no, I don't think see the Falcons going 7-0 or nothing like that. So they're gonna lose. They probably gonna lose a game or 2. You don't think they should lose, and they might win 1 or 2. That you know what I mean? They might split with the best team. So I guess the point is that if they win that division, and then if they have a good record on top of that, they're gonna host the game, and that's gonna be beautiful, man. If we can get to the second round.
Oh yeah.
Out of the guys we're playing, the Commanders are 7-2. The Vikings are 6-2. They've won 1. That's what their streak is. Who else is in the NFC? That's about. The Giants are at the bottom down here. Go back to the American Football Conference, see what the Chiefs. Not the Chiefs, but the Chargers. Chargers are 5-3. They've won 2 in a row, so that might be a pretty good game.
I think that Commanders game gonna come down to who's number 2 in the NFC.
And the Broncos, I think they've lost 1 was their streak. Let's see, they're 5-4, lost 1, and they got a rookie quarterback too. So does the Vikings, right?
Yeah,
Drake May.
No, the Vikings have Donaldson. Yeah, Donaldson.
Yeah.
Sam Donald. Yeah.
Donald, yeah.
Which one, Drake? Which one of the young quarterbacks got hurt at the beginning of the year? One of those young rookies got hurt.
Yeah, the Viking quarterback, the kid from Michigan.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Drake May is in the Patriots.
New England.
The Patriots, yeah.
But the Vikings represent. They have 2 of the best wide receivers, the better wide
receivers.
Yeah.
Yes,
that we face. So that could be an issue, But the quarterback, Donald, is he mobile or is kind of in between them?
He can move, but he prefers to be in the pocket though.
Sanders, you are muted. Unmute yourself. Say that again, Brian. I missed it while I was trying to get Sanders. Go ahead. What were you saying about Donald?
No, I was saying to him, he can, but he prefers to be in the pocket.
Yeah,
working.
Mr. Murphy, what were you about to say?
No, I was saying that Sam Donald is a little mobile. He will move, seems like, when he has to.
Same thing Brian said, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what you got to look at with the Falcons. Like, I think we tend to have problems with mobile quarterbacks, like most teams do, So that, guys that's predictable, we can, hold our own. But, the Washington to give us problems. And I don't know, do we have any other scramblers on our schedule? To say Donald's kind of
well, of course, Washington. Yeah, did you mention Washington? Commanders?
Yeah. Hey, who do you think is going to win this weekend, Steelers or the Commanders?
That ought to be a good game.
That's going to be a good game right there.
Yeah.
Where they playing at? Where they playing at, Glenn?
They're playing at Washington.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go on record and say I'm thinking the Steelers gonna win. Mike gonna take Washington. I'm gonna take the Steelers. Glenn, I kind of figure who you gonna take. Who you gonna take?
I'm gonna go to Steelers, but
yeah.
I have to. I got it.
Well, you don't have to. That's where your heart is. But who you think is gonna win?
I just want the Steelers, man. I'm not objective. I'm one more subjective.
Hey, Glenn, I tell you something, Glenn.
The Steelers are your team, huh?
Yes.
They have gotten this record with 2 quarters. Mike Tomlin, they don't give him enough credit. I mean, he's taken 2 different quarterbacks and built this team, and they found a way to win. But that Watts, that boy, man, he will disrupt the game.
Yeah.
He's the truth.
Yeah. He's a one-man wrecking crew.
Every time we bring him up, I think we could have drafted him. But anyway, spilt milk.
But I tell you what, if either one of those teams win that game convincingly, their stock is gonna go real high. I mean,
that's true. Yeah.
Whoever wins, they're gonna be looking good. I'm just so happy for Jaden though. I'm happy for that guy. I'm just happy.
Yeah.
And he played hurt last week. Was that last week that he was hurt? They were
ribs.
Yeah. That's something for a rookie to be that poised,
Yeah, they become like must-see TV now. Because that's out of. I think that's obviously outside of the Chiefs, but I mean the Commanders. I mean that's a team where the game is going to be exciting. No matter you could care less about the team, but just watching them play.
Yeah.
I mean, they're excited.
Yeah, that's true. And Brian, that Hail Mary, I'm looking at this thing, man. I'm like, I don't believe this. And people talk about luck, but let me tell you, you create your own luck. First of all, for him to scramble, for him to keep that play alive, and then to get that ball up and get it downfield, and for them to have that tip drill and have that, because they teach them to tip it. And the guy was standing right there when it was tipped. I said, I don't believe this.
Actually, and then to make the pass before that, to still have a little more time left.
That's right. That's right.
Strategy by who was that? Was it the Bears? Yeah. They didn't even. Yeah, they played too deep on the previous pass. They gave them what they picked up about 10 yards or something on their next to last pass to get it. Yeah.
No, I think they were like 15 yards off. They gave them like a 15-yard cushion.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was too much. That's what they. Yeah. So
that one defensive back for the Bears is getting a lot of criticism because he was so
yeah. He messed up, and then he apologized. But I think they either bench him in practice or something. Say he's gonna be benched for half the game or and I think he got pissed though. He responded negative because the coach almost had to do something, but he didn't take it well, so I think it's gonna cause a little chaos. And then of course they lost the next game real bad, badly rather. So they're having some problems in Chicago now, rumblings and stuff.
Hey, Chicago they can't get right team. I guess we have, man. We haven't been to the playoffs since 2017, but Chicago, even before that, man, they have been a woeful team,
And then I've been through some quarterbacks, and they can't find. I mean, it's a whole deal.
They ruined quarterbacks. I actually thought Trubisky had some talent, But you don't think so, Brian? I mean, that's right, Glenn. He played for you guys.
No, man, I was so mad when we picked him up. I was
Did
like,
he look? Did he look that bad with you guys?
Oh, I can't stand him, man.
Why?
I was like, why are we doing this, man?
Well, he started out in Chicago, though, right? He
Yes.
started out in Chicago, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But he didn't have much experience coming out of college. He didn't have much experience.
Yeah, true.
You know?
But he played very well against everybody. Looks good against the Falcons back then. We made Mariota look like Joe Montana when he was in Tennessee.
I heard Chicago did they go to the playoffs his first year?
Whose first year?
Yeah, they went. Yeah, he went.
Trubisky.
That was but that was that was when they had that linebacker that got traded later on. I forgot his name.
From with Carson Smith or somebody else?
No,
they got traded to the Raiders.
Maybe the Raiders. I think.
Oh, that defensive end that
right,
Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack.
Yeah, they had a good defense, and which allowed Trubisky and the Bears to get to the playoffs.
So that shouldn't have been no more, what, about 6-7 years ago, or 5, 6?
No, it should be longer than 5. I mean, it's got to be at least 7, I would think.
Okay, I say 6, 7, 5, 6, but yeah, okay, yeah. I'm trying to, because he.
Well, let's see. No, actually, I forgot. Yeah. No, Trubisky came out the year that Pat Mahomes came out.
Okay.
Is that so? Wow.
That's right, because he was picked before Mahomes.
Yeah.
They traded up to get him too, didn't they?
Yep. Because I think at the time everybody thought Deshaun Watson would go number 1 after his game with Bama in the championship. Mm-hmm. And like most teams do, when they in that time period before draft, they find some tall kid that looks good in t-shirt and shorts, start hyping him up. And Trubisky came out of nowhere. They were like, oh my goodness, this kid in North Carolina. And you're like, who is he? And they were like, oh, this is the pick here.
Wow.
But it's like they do it every year. It's like they just be on the lookout for somebody that just has a look. And Trubisky has a look. Because, if you look at him, he looks just like Josh Allen. He and Josh Allen look like they're brothers.
Wow.
I hear that their offensive line is not very good this year also. Chicago. They've had a bad offensive line for some years, though, man. I mean, Justin Fields used to have them guys on his butt. Back, and no quarterback who's getting hit all the time is going to look good. So.
Well, that's what they're saying, that Caleb plays like he doesn't trust the line to hold up for him.
Right.
So he's always, moving around and kind of moving out the pocket, sometimes even moving in the sacks, but it's due to the fact that he doesn't trust that the line is going to hold up.
Mm-hmm.
But
and when you got them NFL linemen coming at you with bad intentions, it ain't like when you in college. Okay, bro.
If I had a team with a bad offensive line and a rookie quarterback, I wouldn't start that quarterback for us a while, because sometimes they run the guys. Man,
Well, they actually did make some moves to improve their line. Maybe one of them worked out because it was horrible. So they did intend to fix it. It may be, and I'm not on top of it right now. I know pieces of it at one time, but sometimes you do. Just like the Falcons made some moves that increase their pass rush that haven't come to full fruition yet. But they did try to address it, and I'm shocked that they made me have a low pick in there, first round or second round pick in there, and a trade or two they made, but it hasn't come to full play. And some of it's on Taylor too. But you're right, the offensive line. I think he's like been sacked 3rd, 4th most time in the whole NFL.
That's a disaster for a rookie quarterback too.
Oh yeah.
They're crazy with the Falcons. I don't know if y'all noticed, the Falcons had 6 sacks during the first. How many games they played now? 8 or 9?
I think it was 8.
8. They had 6 sacks in the first 8 games, and they got 2 sacks
last game.
I thought they got 3. Didn't they get 3 last week?
I think 3.
I think 3. Yeah, that is right. They did get another. Yeah, 2 back-to-back on another. So they got 3 in all.
So you got 2 back-to-back, and you had 6 in 8 games. You got 2 in 2 plays in a row. I thought that was crazy.
and 3
I
and
gotta
all.
watch. I gotta watch Judon. I mean, I didn't hear his name called too much. And on the radio, they were complaining. Brian Finneran, ex-Falcon receiver, and some of those guys, home team, they were complaining that the guy looked like he wasn't putting much effort into it.
Right. I heard that also.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to try to check him out this week and see what he's looking like. Maybe that'll put a little fire on him, knowing that he's getting publicly called out. But how can you not put effort? This is a contract season for this guy.
He hasn't got. He's made some plays, he's caused some disruptions. He may be a few more sacks shorter than we had, but I think one thing you got to realize, the Falcons picked two. I mean, we expected him to have a few more sacks for sure.
Well, he started out pretty good in his first 2 games. He got 1.5 sacks, which is
what
he has now.
The only component is we drafted 2 defensive linemen. I think one of them's out for the year, and the other guy, I guess he's just, he might turn into something. So they haven't gotten anything out of their draft picks as far as the defense, though, right?
Yeah. Now that's been a and it's a valid criticism of Fontenot. Fontenot has not had a stellar draft resume since he's been with the Falcons. I mean, Richard Grant, they even traded for a safety. Richard Grant was a number 2, I think. And nobody's really making a mark now. Aurora, however you pronounce his name, he was looking good. I think he got hurt. I don't know whether he'll be back. But the guy Dorlus, another lineman, he hasn't touched the field yet. And of course, like you were saying, Trice got hurt, And the receiver Washington, I think he got some play in garbage time. I think Penix threw him a pass, the receiver that they picked late in the draft. So, yeah, that's a big thing. They've been talking about that. I've been reading about people been putting down, saying that the Falcons draft choices have not panned out too much this year. But, you still got the jury's still out on that.
Well, I guess they built it through the trade or, through free agency, because when you think about it, and Penix may be a good pick for the future, but he's a backup. And then the other guys haven't produced. So we really haven't gotten anything out of this.
You're right. We haven't so far.
For a draft. We may.
But the dude from Clemson did play a little bit, and he has shown some promise, but he got hurt. Aurora, however you pronounce his name. I got to look up how to pronounce his name. So. And the running back, they drafted a running back too. He hasn't gotten much play, but how can you with the two that we got,
Oh yeah.
That defensive line, I know they've been hearing it on the news. Everybody been talking about them. So, it got to put some fire upon them, knowing that you're being called out by the whole city.
Omenure, they called him out on the radio, said he has not looked like himself this year. Grady, it looks like he's coming around. He had that injury, so it takes a little time. Looked like he got a sack. He was the second of the 2 in a row, wasn't it? Art looked like he's coming around, but you haven't heard Omenure. Well, how you pronounce the man? Yeah, I used to know how to pronounce his name.
So you talk about it, I can't say it
Yeah.
either.
But he was pretty good last year against the run. But you see, we getting gashed this year with the run game.
What's amazing is, if you look at the Falcons, 8 games, 6 sacks. If you prorate that, that's a rate of about 13 sacks a year. Okay. Which would be horrible.
That would almost be lowest ever in the league. It's pretty low.
But they're still winning, though. I think
PJ
Watt probably have more sacks than our whole team. I wouldn't surprise. I don't know. Yeah, that's what it comes out to. The math said it's 12, 13 sacks a year. Now they did get 3 the last game and pick it up, but that to be still winning is, and the defense is not giving up that many points. I ain't saying it's the best in the league, but that's amazing. That I guess it's the bend but don't break defense.
Bend don't break, and they've done a good job of turnovers.
Yeah.
Jesse Bates is the man.
Yeah,
no doubt. No doubt.
Yeah.
He has perfected that punching out the ball.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I think some of his play calling, because I see some other teams that may not have a big stout, defensive line, but those play calls, sometimes they'll have a man come, linebacker hesitate and come around when when the other guys have engaged. So I think a lot of his play call, you can do some creative things, but the Falcons don't. They just stand up there, head to head, and until the man throw the ball. But you can do some more things if you pretty creative. You can call some plays.
I like what they're doing. I mean, they're not getting a lot of. Of course, I want them to get more sacks, but they don't gamble too much either, though, and that's why they're not giving up as many big plays. So, it's a trade-off. A lot of teams that blitz a lot get caught up in it. So, you want what you like to do is get pressure with your main guys and maybe do occasional blitz, but you don't blitz as much as a lot of some other coaches. At least they're not blitzing quite as much.
And that's weird because you remember when Raheem took over for Dan Quinn and became the interim, they did blitz a lot, during that time. But that surprised me that he's not doing much of it. And they play this kind of a soft zone too. The cornerbacks give up a lot of yards right off the bat. So.
Yeah. So hopefully. Hopefully they'll get better. I mean, they can't get any, as far as pressure on the quarterback, it can't get any worse, to be honest.
Yeah.
You can't.
But that says something about our secondary, though. The guys are not putting a lot of pressure on them, but the secondary is still doing a good job, man.
Yeah.
Because boy passed, who was that pass for 50 times against us and we didn't hardly hit him at all? Was that Baker?
Yeah, Baker Mayfield.
Passed about 50 times, and I thought we didn't hardly put a hand on him.
They say it was no. I think they say it was 50 passes and they didn't even put no pressure on what's considered
no pressure.
Yeah.
Wow.
No pressure whatsoever.
Yeah.
This was Mayfield?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was against Tampa. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But our offense has been our meal ticket so far, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no doubt. And they looking better every week.
Even Kyle Pitts is coming along, although he had one pass last week.
They didn't play him a lot either last week. It seemed like a lot of times he was out of the game.
Do you think y'all think they're gonna resign him? Or I don't think he's gonna get a huge contract. But somebody might throw some money at him though.
If he learns how to block and really become effective at it, that'll open up a whole nother part of his game.
I think but they drafted him to catch pass. I mean, he needs to block, but right now his biggest thing is
but he needs to at least be able to block as well as the running backs. I mean, Bijan is a better blocker than Kyle Pitts. I mean,
I see him make some nice ones every now and then.
He's gotten better. But look at Bijan Robinson and then look at Kyle Pitts, man. Bijan Robinson had put a couple guys on their butt.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts, I see him missing chips.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
But you're right, Art. He has improved. Hopefully he'll continue to improve, man.
Yeah, he needs to catch. I mean, he needs to I don't know how they running him and what routes and all that. When I see him, he seems to be when I actually send him when he goes forward to me, it seems like he's doing okay. But they're smart people. If he was, I can't imagine them just not getting it to him or not trying to get to him if he's actually going to have to beat people. But I see big plays out of him, but obviously it's something I'm not seeing the whole. All I see is what the camera show us. So
I see him going through the motions. That's about it. He'll put his hand out, just like, I just blocked, so let me go out here and catch.
Again, his thing is to pass. They got him at the most of the pass. I mean, they do a lot of clipping and chips and all that stuff too. Bijan Robinson blocking from a whole different angle than the tight end, right? Sometimes you have the guy, the defensive end, go wide and all that stuff. When you line up and they go wider than you, so it's a lot of angle stuff.
Man, he need to be better. I'm sorry. I don't see him just barely put a hand on the guy.
Right. If he don't block, that means that man got just an open,
why is they
straight-footed quarterback.
Why is their rushing attack so good?
Why is what now?
Their rushing attack is one of the best in the league. and they decent on pass protection. So it can't be.
I don't know whether that's because of Kyle Pitts. A lot of times Kyle Pitts is out wide.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. His blocking ain't. It's important, but he needs to get some passes though. That's what he's out there.
Hey, all right. If it's not important, just say if he don't block a man and that man got an open line at your quarterback, they put your quarterback out the game. Then that's how important it is.
What I'm saying is that's your point, but they need him to catch some passes. They need him to block. But his blocking ain't as bad as you say it is it? Can't be that bad.
Oh yeah.
Why is he not getting sacked? Why is he not getting sacked every play?
He's not, like he said. He's
like I said,
wide.
He's out wide a lot. I rarely see him. You know,
and that's what I'm saying. It ain't that critical. It's critical out there as it is when he's in at the tight end spot.
Well, we got to agree to disagree on this one because I have actually seen him barely put a hand on a guy coming in when he was supposed to chip him.
That's the angle, though, right?
Well, if that's the angle he's supposed to block at, he need to know how to do it.
He's just like Mike Gesicki with the Bengals now, who was with the Dolphins. I mean, they're not blockers. Honestly, they're probably not going to improve as blockers, but they're strictly there to be a bigger wide receiver, big body wide receiver. They're not focusing on blocking or trying to improve. That's why they don't even put them in a position where if you're in a play call and you need your tight end to block to protect Cousins, they're not going to have Pitts on the field because they know he's not going to block.
Absolutely.
He need to be able to chip somebody, man. I ain't saying he got to hold up and take on TJ Watt one-on-one, but he needs to be able to chip a guy.
I'm not going to trust him.
You guys say it is, though. It can't be that terrible.
Like I say, we can agree to disagree because I totally disagree with you on this. I think he's getting better, but I have seen him look awful.
All I'm saying is that his primary thing, though, is to catch passes. And yes, he needs to block better. But that ain't what's killing him with his performance is the blocking. You know, if he can catch passes and stuff, because a lot of times when they're on the critical runs or something, they won't even have him in the game anyway. Yeah. Okay. But it's a lot of receivers that's not great. Tight ends has been great. Tight ends not being great blockers. I don't know. Was the guy from Kansas City a great blocker?
I'm not asking him to be a great blocker. Yeah. I mean, at least be able to chip him, man.
Oh, we disagree that he don't chip or block occasionally. I've seen him get some blocks though. That's all I'm saying too. So I just don't think I think his primary thing with the Falcons, and I do think all of them need to block if you're an NFL player. But everybody ain't going to be. Everybody ain't gonna be, running 4.5s and be the best block in the real. Okay,
you got to look at it like this though. Also, in a game they may throw to him twice in a game, so only twice, 2 or 3 times you got to worry about catching it. But the whole game, if you can just be a effective blocker, that'll open up your game. If you blocking on every down that you out there, it makes a difference because he ain't gonna throw it to you but 1 or 2 times in the whole game.
Yeah, you gotta want it though.
He's catching passes and he's not. They don't have him. I'm saying, Eric, you're not gonna get the All Pro out of Eric. He's gonna be the best pass catcher and the best blocker. Then that's the All Pro tight end. Okay, one of the best in the league. I'm saying his block is not terrible. It may not be at a Pro Bowl level. Okay, but you're not gonna get everything out of all players too. Okay.
He's improving on the catching, but he wasn't doing a whole lot of that. I mean, he came on the game before last and the game before that one. I mean, I saw this guy in college look like he was going to be great, man. He was reaching over Georgia Bulldogs, who were one of the best teams. I mean, making them look bad. He has not looked like that at all in the NFL.
I think the Falcons they didn't know how to utilize him because I know a couple of years back, I remember seeing memes where other fan bases were joking about how the Falcons were going to draft Marvin Harrison so they could have him running decoy routes for some undrafted guy from like Georgia Southern or something. The Falcons never really utilized Kyle Pitts. I mean, a lot of his pass, when they had Mariota here, they have him wide out. He's running like, 5 yards on a comeback, not utilizing what he's really good at like they did at Florida. And I never understood. I mean, and your previous coach, who love tight ends, who just fell in love with Pitts, never had any kind of game plan for him. They don't have him like catching the ball, moving across like the middle or lining him inside where he's automatically a mismatch.
Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
They put him outside where he doesn't create a mismatch, where he's going to be not as fast as your top cornerback, and they're running routes where he can't really do anything but just kind of stand in one spot and catch.
Yeah, I agree.
He's faster than Drake London, though. You know?
Yeah.
Drake London is totally outperforming him.
He's faster when he gets up to speed, but I think when you're talking in that short yardage, I don't think he gets up quick.
He ran a 4.40. Drake London, I think, ran a 4.5. Drake London just looked like a more determined player. And I hope Pitts comes on around, man. But I'm disappointed.
You speak about the victory against Dallas. Pitts only had one
catch.
One catch in that game.
But how many times was he targeted? I don't know. Maybe he wasn't open.
It says
one time targeted? I know he only caught one. But was he targeted?
One time he wasn't in the game.
Target for 11 yards.
Yeah, I saw a lot of sets where he's not in the game, and that's how they running it. So it's all going to come out in the wash if he don't get his numbers up. He either get a low offer or he'll end up going somewhere else. Yeah. I do think his primary thing, you decided some tight ends not going to make all real blocker. Okay, you got them. That's why you have 2 or 3 different. A lot of times you have different guys, different bills at tight end. You may have some of them drafted more for pass catching and some of them drafted more for
he hasn't been an all-world catcher either. Now I give him a pass on the last 2 years because he had 2 of the worst quarterbacks in the league. The first year he did well. He made the Pro Bowl, got 1,000 yards. I was looking for a big jump this year, and I've been very disappointed.
Yeah, last year, let me say this here. Last year, actually, Falcons, as far as the production out of the tight end spot, they were in the top 3 in the league or so.
Yeah, but like you said, they use him as a decoy.
Yeah. But I mean, even as far as the reception yards, but what him and Smith put together was around 1,200, which is actually probably second, third somewhere in the top.
Man, I showed you guys footage with Pitts doing like this, and Mariota
and went the other way.
Yeah, I mean, where he was open and the man out there doing like this multiple times, not just one time. So
sometimes it looks like because the Falcons were picking so high up for probably about 3-4 years straight, it's almost like they've got all this talent and they're trying to sit there and like divide the pie equally. They don't want anybody to get offended, and they're trying to get everybody involved. And so some weeks, some guys left off, next week comes on. Whereas I think if he had gone to a team where he was like the focal point, where they're going to feed him like 10, 12 balls every game. We don't care what the coverage is. We're throwing the ball 10 times. Falcons have never had that approach. The Falcons are like, well, yeah, we got to get you. We got to get Dre. Oh, I forgot we got Bajan back here. Oh, no, we got this other running back. Can't forget about him. Oh, now we found another receiver to throw to. Yeah. And so they're just like jumping all over. Whereas other teams who like, screw them. This guy's pick number 4. He's getting 10 balls every game. The rest of you guys will get what's left. And they never.
Go ahead. Finish.
No, that was it.
Yeah. I tell you who's looked good, though, man. Darnell Mooney has really surprised me.
That's what no doubt. Yeah. Mooney, a bad boy.
A lot of people, I heard one of the announcers mention him as probably one of the best deep threat in the game right now. Now, I don't know how. Saying. Yeah.
And that's been Pitts' problem with the Falcons, the fact that y'all have so many guys that have like popped up out of nowhere that are performing. It's hard to give the people at the top of the draft pick the primary workload because you got other people. I mean, Jonnu Smith is a perfect example. Pitts was sharing the load with him. Dolphin fans love Jonnu Smith.
Jonnu Smith made plays last year.
Man. Because he can do it all. He's big body. He can block. He can catch. He can run.
Yeah.
He got
I hate we let him go.
Yeah, me too.
Well, they actually getting production out of the wide receiver. The receiver is not I think that, like, again, the Falcons are 6-3 or something, and no sacks. The offense is doing pretty well, so I don't see any problems with the offense, to be honest.
Well, we
I
were
don't think
talking
we have
about Pitts in particular. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what we were talking about. We weren't talking about just the offense. We were talking about Kyle Pitts.
The offense is doing what you want them to do, right? Overall, so
they ain't on all cylinders though, And going back to Pitts, I was looking for Pitts to be better than Tony Gonzalez, but Tony Gonzalez can probably come out of retirement and do better.
But to be fair though, if you compare them, Tony G was better because Matt Ryan was a rookie, and that's all Matt looked for. So it would be like they're in the red zone. Everybody in the building knows we're gonna pass to Gonzalez. Everybody defense, dude, be triple covered. Matt will still throw the ball to him,
and ain't nothing they can do about it.
Yeah,
right. There you go.
But they don't. But they won't treat Pitts that same way. They're gonna be like, we got Pitts, we got Jonnu Smith, we got like 3 other guys.
You got Mooney.
I don't know. I totally agree with that because you had Gonzalez, but you also had 2 All-Pro receivers with him. You had Roddy White and you had Julio, and they got a lot of balls.
No, but early in Matt's career,
I don't think Gonzalez was there when he was a rookie.
Yeah, he was there.
When Matt was a rookie.
When Matt Ryan was drafted, Gonzalez was here.
I have to look that one up.
I thought he was Kansas City.
No, he came here
he came from Kansas City here.
But did he come that early though?
Because after him, that's why they've always said
what he did. What a good
say. What did you say, Brian?
No, it's like when and I think the entire time he was here, they said the best thing you can get a young quarterback is a tight end because that's your security blanket. Red zone. That you need that 3rd and 4th conversion. Give the rookie a tight end. Because I was like, the Dolphins trying to help Tua out. That's who you draft, Kyle Pitts. Get him a tight end like that. Guy who's just freakish, can run, can catch.
But when you look at Tom Brady, one of the main points of his success was Gronk. That's why he brought Gronk all the way to Tampa Bay. Because he know that's my bread and butter. When you got a tall man like that, and most of your defense guys ain't that tall, so if you put it up high enough, only he can get it.
Yeah, and for a while he had 2 really good tight ends. He had Gronk and what's the other guy's name who got
Hernandez.
Yeah. But Tom Brady didn't have the greatest receivers at that time, but he used those tight ends.
Yep.
The most yardage that Gonzalez had with Atlanta was 930. Okay, and then the next highest was 875. So I don't know what that means. Of course,
he was clutch though, man. He was clutch.
16 games. Yeah, had 16 games.
How many touchdowns did he have during that time? Because he was great. He was great in the red zone.
Yeah,
he was unstoppable. So he averaged around 7 a year.
See. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Man, it's after 10 o'clock. We just, we got into this one pretty good,
Yeah.
So all right, I guess me and Brother Andy will agree to disagree with you and Brother Brian.
I think I was I think he needs to be a blocker. I don't think that's their main problem. They got a bigger problem with the defensive line, and they need to zoom in on why his boy ain't got but 1 sack all year.
Now, once again, I'm not asking him to be an all-pro blocker. Be able to chip a man.
Just acknowledge I'm saying he's not.
I think Sanders could go out there and chip somebody.
Why you look so good?
Because I see you looking up at the TV and ain't paying attention. That's why.
You said here. That's all that. I don't think he's a great blocker, but I don't think that is as bad as that's the hole in their defense because of him.
But he hasn't, as of yet, he hasn't proven to be a great receiver either. So I hope he comes around, man.
Oh yeah, we all hope he gets better. And I saw one game he had a great game, and then the next game he wasn't even in the game much.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're doing, but as long as they're putting points on the board, I'm not gonna worry about it. When he had the big game, and even the big catches, he didn't even play. Even when he had those 2 big catches early in the game, they just don't do that. They don't like go.
But why? Kirk Cousins seems like he distributes the ball to whoever's open. Every now and then he might miss somebody who's not open.
Sometimes the Lemons go absent for half a quarter or a half a game too. You know,
say that again. I didn't get.
Sometimes we don't go to Landon for long periods of time. Even you know, and I guess Landon's probably second on the team in catches, second or third somewhere. So that's the way they do it. I just hope that works in the playoffs if you don't have any go-to guys. Because right now you don't know who the Falcons throwing. You know, they pretty
looks like Donnell Mooney might be more of a go-to than anybody. You know,
right now. Oh no, he's a serious threat right now.
You know,
hey, Andy, go ahead. Do you have a gym for us this week? Finish what you're saying.
Yeah, I got.
Okay, well, go and say what you're saying. Then we'll get that gym of yours.
I was just gonna say, as back to that blocking, he can make. The running back looking good. He can make. You'd be surprised how many times if he's just out there blocking, ain't no coach gonna tell him, "Hey, don't block." You gonna end up standing up. But if you out there blocking, who knows? They may get an extra 10, 20 yards just because of that one man that you cut off blocking.
Or that you just knocked off his path. You ain't got to pancake him. Yeah. You knock him off his path so he goes around the quarterback instead of hitting him. You know
the ironic thing was that the
Michael
Dolphins
Jackson Thriller is the best movie.
The reason they went after Jonnu Smith was because in the Shanahan offense, you need a tight end that is willing to block and go out and catch balls.
Right.
And 49ers got Kittle, and we had Mike Gesicki, which is like which is like Pitts, which is a tall guy that can, out jump everybody, but you can't run all the things they want to run if you're not willing to block. And so that's why they went after Jonnu Smith. So for us, for our offense, they need a guy that can block, but also be effective in the pass game. But I do know, like a lot of teams with that, like the Jimmy Grahams of the world, they just want an athletic guy that can run down, out jump everybody. And Kyle Pitts, he came in that era of, hey, I'm just a pass catching tight end. I don't do that other stuff. That's
extra.
That's an add-on. You got, I'm like, you get YouTube TV. If you want the NBA channel, you got to pay extra for that.
Hey, you got to always remember, you always auditioning for another team. So, whatever you do, some other teams watching you.
Yep.
And to the point, you got your piece ready for us, man.
All right, I got just a little short.
Bring it on, my brother.
We had to bring our cowboys, their cowboys into our home. So, mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. They may fly into Atlanta thinking they're Santa, but this time we're taking their toys. The Falcons win. Yes, the Falcons win. Our Falcons have done it again. Another day and another way. That's how the story will end. Coming to our dome, acting all grown, wearing your white with blue stars. Tell your owner, Jerry Jones, he better leave us alone because we're winning all the games and the wars. So, mama, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. They may bring all the money and bring all the honey, but this time they're leaving with no noise.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Brother
sir.
Andy the poet.
Way to go, my brother.
Yes, sir. Brother Arstradamus, let's get your pick for the Falcons, man, before we get Mike to close out, since you are the expert here.
No, I'm just I would say Falcons 30, Saints 14.
All right, there you heard it. The great Arstradamus making his prediction. All right. Brother Mike, how you gonna close us out, bro?
Man, I'm gonna close out. It's gonna be real simple, man. Look, I know, we had a tough election, But don't let that bother you. It's just like the game of life, man. We got to keep fighting. When we get hit, we get back up. We keep fighting. And that's what we do in this game called life. We never give up. Saw a quote today as I was driving. It said this, where the worrying ends, the faith begins.
All right.
We got faith there's going to be a better day. Let's make it happen. Let's go Falcons. I'm predicting we're going to bring our victory back home. Let's do it.
Yes, sir. We got to take care of them Saints, man.
Yes.
Take
Them
care of
ain't
Saints. The ain'ts.
All right. Well, if anybody else got anything to say before we close it out?
That's it.
All right. Good show, y'all. Hope everybody has a prosperous, successful, and healthy week. And we'll see everybody next week. Peace out.
Ready.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Hey, we'll see you next time.
A-Town.